Today, this English conversations is about the Spring Boot interview questions. I'm thinking it's opportunities to learn about this important framework with some questions, okay, and to have opportunities to improve English conversations. Uh, Speaking about technology, okay, I'm thinking it is it's the I'm thinking it's one of the most important framework for Java language um, and about technology. I think many people like to speak about technology. Okay, go ahead. Um, let's start these introductions, okay, about this content. Okay, everyone learns at their own pace. What matters most is your dedication and consistency. This guide is designed to help you practice common Spring Boot concepts, which are commonly asked to help you excel in your technical interview. Okay, let's start with these first questions. Okay, let me see. Explain the role of Spring Boot in microservice architecture. Uh, uh, can you read, please, Vinicius?
No problems. Here we go. Spring Boot simplifies the development and the deployment of microservices by providing a suite tools and frameworks that streamline the setup and configuration process. It offers features like embedded servers like Tomcat and Jetty, production-ready metrics, health checks, and externalized configuration to facilitate easy management of multiple microservices. Spring Boot's opinionated approach reduces boilerplate code and integrates seamlessly with Spring Cloud to manage distributed systems concerns such as service discovery, circuit breakers, and load balancing.
Okay. Can you explain about these answers, please? What's your opinion about this?
In my point of view, Spring Boot is a framework, as the name already said, is a framework, a piece of work to facilitate our lives as programmers. So it has a lot of building things that make it easier for us to develop new projects and new applications.
Okay, congratulations. Uh, and the second question is how does Spring Boot active auto configurations and what are its limitations? Let me see. Um, can you read these answers, please, Jose?
For sure. So Spring Boot, okay. Spring Boot achieves auto configuration by using enable auto configuration annotation and a set of conditional annotations like conditional on class, conditional on missing bean, etc. to automatically configure Spring Beans based on the class path settings, existing beans, and various property settings. The meta-inf Spring Factories file specifies the configuration classes to be auto-configured. Limitations include potential conflicts with manual configuration, difficulty in debugging, configuration issues, and the possibility of unnecessary components being unloaded if not properly excluded.
Okay.
So, okay.
What did you understand about these answers?
Yeah, the auto configuration in Spring Boot helps to, as the word mentioned, create beans automatically to handle with the well, I don't know with the Spring initiation to avoid a lot of code or manual configurations for developers too. So helps to create beans and manage the beans in our project.
Okay. Uh, the next question is discuss the significance of Spring Boot's actuator modeling in production environments. Okay. Before reading the answers, good evening, Tiago. Good evening, Ricardo. Could you introduce yourself, please?
When you say Tiago, it's me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. My name is Tiago Oliveira. I'm software developer. I work with Java since the version 6. I'm from Recife, Brazil, but I live in Lisbon now. I work in a big company here. Um, I work with Java and Kotlin, work with microservices and AWS platform. I would say that's it.
Okay, okay. Welcome to this English conversation.
Thank
Uh,
you.
the Let me see. Can you read the answers, please, Darley?
Yep. So the Spring Boot Actuator module provides essential tools for monitoring and managing Spring Boot applications in production. It exposes various endpoints like actuator health, actuator info, actuator metrics that offer insights into application health, metrics, environment properties, and more. It helps administrators and developers to quickly diagnose issues, monitor performance, and ensure the application is running as expected. Actuator can be integrated with monitoring systems and is customizable to expose only the necessary endpoints.
Okay. Did you understand?
Yeah, it shows how important it is to watch over our apps, just like checking someone's health. If the app is sick, the actuator helps us find the problem fast before things go wrong.
Okay. The next question is how does Spring Boot support securities and what are the best practices for securing our Spring Boot applications? Uh, can you read these answers, please, Tiago?
Okay, Spring Boot integrates with Spring Security to provide comprehensive security solutions, including authentication, authorization, and protection against common vulnerabilities like CSRF, XXS, and SQL injection. Best practices for securing a Spring Boot application includes use HTTPS for encryption communication, strongly sensitive data securely using encryption and security, credentials management. Implement strong authentication mechanisms such as Auth2 and JWT, regularly using dependencies to patch known vulnerabilities, employing role-based access control (RBAC) to restrict access based on user roles, using security handlers, example, content security policy, X content type options to prevent attacks, concurring regular security audits and code reviews.
Okay. Can you explain about this context, please?
Um, in my opinion, Spring Security is very nice tool to integrate very easy with Spring Boot, with just to apply some custom configuration in the some um, configure, configure, configurable class, let's put like that. You can manipulate our filters in an easy way to deny some allowed requests. It's easy to use the patterns that the Spring teams publish their APIs. It's easy to configure our Spring, let's say, security config class, and with this configuration, you can manipulate more easier our future to receive the HTTP request. I would say.
Okay. The next questions is what are Spring Boot starters and how to do they simplify dependency management? Uh, okay. Good evening, Alan. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, let me let me do it quickly. I've been trying to join you guys like the past weeks, but I wasn't able, so today is the first time. Just to confirm, can you guys hear me properly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just like probably most of you, I'm just a Brazilian Java developer. 8 year experience. Working for a company from the UK at this point. And yeah, just willing to join guys in the studies and everything you guys been practicing here basically.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Can you read the answers, please, Ricardo?
Spring Boot starters are a set of convenient dependency descriptors that simplify dependency management by aggregating commonly used dependencies into a single starter package. For example, Spring Boot Starter Web includes dependencies for Spring MVC, Jackson, and an embedded Tomcat server. This abstraction reduces the need to specify individual dependencies and ensures compatibility among included libraries. Starters streamline the setup process and provide a consistent base for application development, allowing developers to focus more on business logic than on configuration.
Okay. Did you understand?
I think so.
Okay. Can you try?
To understand?
Uh, can you explain, please?
Basically, it's explaining the convenient side of using Spring Boot starters. for the configuration.
Okay. Okay. The next question is, how do you create a simple RESTful web services using Spring Boot? Uh, can you read, please, Vinicius?
Okay. Uh, how do you create a simple? Create a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer or your preferred method. Add the Spring Boot Starter web dependency to your own XML or build.gradle file. Create a controller class with at REST controller annotation. Define a request mapping method using at get mapping or at post mapping and etc.
Okay.
Below we have the example of the class using these annotations.
Okay. Can you explain, please, this code?
Okay, to create a REST controller, the class is annotated with at REST controller and the request mapping that is your path to this class. And the method is the resource that you want to achieve. So if you put it in your browser, your root base URL slash API slash hello, you will find the method say hello that will return a string to you saying hello world. It's quite simple to do a API in Spring Boot. It facilitates a lot.
Okay. The next question is, how do you connect a Spring Boot applications to a MySQL database? Can you read, please? Let me see, Jose.
Yeah, for sure. So add the MySQL connector Java and Spring Boot starter Java JPA dependencies to your own XML. To configure the database connection in application properties. So that's the file and the configuration. Three, create an entity class and a repository interface. Uh, that's the interface entity. So create the table in the database. Can you scroll down, please? That's it. Okay. And okay, finish.
Okay. The next questions, how do you handle exceptions globally in a Spring Boot applications? Uh, can you read, please, Darley?
So just a second. Is the question eight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, use the at controller advice and at exception handler to handle exceptions globally.
Okay. And about this class, can you explain, please?
Yeah, just a sec to clear my thoughts. Uh, it shows how we can make our apps smarter by catching errors in one place. Instead of breaking the app, we give clear messages when something goes wrong. It's like having a safe net for our code. Is that
Okay. The next questions is, how do you use the Spring Boot Dev Tools to answer the development experience? Let me see. Can you read, please? Alan?
Yeah, sure. So first thing to do is to add a Spring Boot DevTools dependency to your pom.xml. So we can see a piece of code basically adding the dependency, which is very common for us that work with Java, mostly with Maven. Um, and then basically just moving forward, the DevTools enables automatic restarts, live reload, and configurations for faster development. Ensure your IDE is configured to compile the code on save. You can scroll down a little bit just to check if there's something else I've missed. Oh, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. The next questions is how do you configure a custom endpoint in Spring Boot Actuator? Let me see. Uh, can you read, please, or explain, Tiago?
Okay. Implement a custom actuator endpoint by creating a bean of type endpoint. So need to create a class and not this class with component. And you have some method here to return a string annotated with read operation. Enable the endpoint in the application.properties using this property here, and also finish or no? Yeah, to be honest, didn't I never used this annotation read the operation. I don't remember about this, but I know the idea to create a new customer endpoint. But if you know and can explain about, I don't know. I never used this read operation. Read 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 operation. I don't know.
Okay.
I've used it before just to add something on the top of what you said. So we wanted to expose a very specific environment variable. So we decided to create this new endpoint where we're just reading the variables from a very specific virtual machine, actually. And we could just read it by calling a specific endpoint, which would just read that data from the environment. As I said, it's pretty useful. I've not used like many times, but yeah, I used it in the past.
Okay. So can you scroll up? So just a little bit, just to see the class again, or no? Could you scroll up, please?
Okay.
Up? No, down. Yeah, thank you. So in this class, how can I achieve this content, custom endpoint output? How can I achieve this? Do you know?
Can you explain, Alan, about this
I couldn't get
actuator?
the sorry, I couldn't get the question exactly. Sorry.
No, it's about create a custom endpoint in the Spring Boot actuator. So this answer talking about to create this class like custom endpoint, and this class has this method here. But
Mhm.
my doubt is how can I shift this content endpoint
Yep.
output?
Oh, so how you can achieve or how you can reach it. It's gonna
Yeah,
expose. You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
yeah, okay. You're gonna create like a specific endpoint because I think these example it's actually missing something. There's an
Okay, okay, okay,
annotation
okay.
and specific annotation which is called the add endpoint, I think. and then you're gonna define how you can reach it, right? So you're gonna define a specific path, I would say, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna
Makes sense.
just like you call like the actuator one something slash something, you're
Yeah, yeah,
gonna
yeah.
call the actuator slash your new endpoint you've just
Yeah,
created, basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
and you use, yeah, usually the read operations is like for the retrieving something specifically.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
No problem.
Okay. The next question is how do you implement paginations and sorties in a Spring Boot applications? Let me see. Can you explain, please, Ricardo?
Use Spring Data JPA, paging and sorting repository. There's a code. There's some code exemplifying paging, sorting repository, and then in your service or controller, use pageable and page request and the code exemplifying.
Okay. The next question is how do you implement paginations? Oh, sorry. Um, I think is the next question is how do you configure and use a custom banner in a Spring Boot applications? Can you rate, please, Vinicius? Can you hear me, Vinicius? Hello, good evening, Bruno.
Hello, good evening.
Could you introduce yourself, please? Okay. Can you read these answers, please, Jose?
Yeah, for sure. Place a banner uh, txt file in the source main resources directory with your custom banner text. You can use ASCII art generators to create the text. So when you start a Spring Boot application, if you change the this file, you can, I don't know, change the banner like it's for default is Spring, but you can use your custom banner. So that's it.
Okay. How do you integrate this Spring Boot with Kafka, Thiago?
Uh, Sorry, I need to because I am using my smartphone. Okay. Um, added this added the Spring Kafka dependency on our POM XML. So we need to add these tags in our POM file, right? And also, could you scroll up to see if I have other configuration? Um, configure Kafka properties in the application properties, like Spring Boot, Bootstrap server, and consumer groups. Create Kafka producer and consumer beans. Like you need to create a configuration class annotated by configuration, and inside this class you need to add these methods like here, right? We need to configure our Kafka template and our listener, like this example. So this listener will use this topic like my talks in this group ID, my groups. So when some producer publish a message in this topic, my topic, the method listen will be called, right? To to read the message.